Welcome to the WatchBox studio here in Neuchâtel. I have the great pleasure to welcome Aldo Magada here in our studio. He used to be the CEO of Zenith and is now the CEO of Watches and Anonimo. Welcome and thank you for the time.
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me.
Aldo, I read a statement recently which you made, and there you said, we have to set priorities, we must concentrate, we must simplify, and we must clarify. Can you elaborate a little bit on that? And this is something which you're going to apply when running Anonimo and Vulca.
Well, obviously, you know, the problem with the brand is to stay coherent through all the aspects: product, marketing, sales, after-sales service, and services in general. So a lot of time, because we don't know what we do, we create a lot of different tools, a lot of product. And I think it's totally bad because the customer is looking for a genuine product which reflect exactly what do we want to communicate.
Over the last 6 months, I realized that you concentrated mainly on the work on Anonimo. Can you tell us where you see the DNA and the strength of Anonimo?
You know, for me, Anonimo was very confusing at the beginning. So, as everyone who is interested in a brand, you try to find what is the DNA. And the DNA is Italian roots and Swiss manufacturing. What does it mean? We are not pizzaiolo, we will not be ethnical Italian, but we want to make sure that people understand that the big value of the Italian, the joy, the way of life, the enjoying of the life is part of Anonimo. So we would like to put people together, and that's very the contrary of a lot of marketing which are making segmentation because they love to have segmentation. We love to put people together because it's like a family. Family, you have the grandfather, you have the father, you have the son and the grandson, and they are all together around the table. And that's the spirit of Anonimo. The spirit of Anonimo is enjoying with a product which could be with you in every kind of occasion and every kind of situation.
It's a very good statement. And when I look at the family sitting at the table, the Anonimo table, who are these people?
Our customer is pretty diverse. I would say is probably 28, 30 and plus. People who love the watchmaking because it's a real watches. It's not an accessory, it's a real watch. But it's a watch which has a great value for the price and a great value in terms of function and in terms of long lasting. So for us, it's very important to make sure that the customer is having the feeling not only when he's buying, but when he's using that he did the best choice. To have a great product, fun, but a product which working in every way. So my target group is very diverse. Of course, is more men-oriented. Today, it will come, but today we are very, I would say, gentleman-oriented by 95% of the sales.
The collection spread into 3 pillars. One of them is the Militare, the Nautilo, and the Epurato. And here at WatchBox in Neuchâtel, we have a few of the timepieces from your Militare collection. If somebody is visiting here, we can view the pieces, we can touch them. Tell us a bit more about the Militare collection.
I think you touch probably the root of the brand. Why? This piece is made mainly in bronze. You have on steel, but you have in bronze. Bronze is a very important material for navigator, for divers, I will say in the old days. and it's a unique material which make your watch absolutely unique, because you can make the tarnishing, the oxidation the way you want, because it's a process you cannot stop, but you can, I will say, arrange the way you want. So you have a unique watch. It's your watch, or you keep it more or less as new, or you keep it very oxidized and very different. That's the first step. The second thing is the design of the watch. It's a chronograph, and the chronograph, as you can see on the product, is a chronograph with the push button at the conventional place and the crown at 12. And it's protected by a patented system which allow us to have something different in terms of look, but without compromise with the quality and the technicability of the product. So I will say Militare is a great chrono because it's kind of big. It's 43 something millimeters, but he really go well on your wrist, and I see yours is doing well, and you have a nice product, very present, but not something which kill your personality.
So when we look at the bronze, it is really a personalification, which means the person who wears the timepiece is changing the look of the bronze model, because you might be in an environment which is more dusty, which is more humid, and it changes accordingly. But then there's also the aspect of the crown, the visibility, and the recognition of the timepiece. I can sit in a room and I can see the Anonimo timepiece across the table. I can recognize it. How important is that recognition?
That's important for two reasons. The first reason, of course, is for, like every watch company, is to have a strong model who can be recognized, and you can really emphasize all the value of the brand on the piece. But more important on this is really to make sure that we have, as you said, we have three pillars. The Militare is very strong. It's probably the strongest in terms of design, but is also bringing the people to the rest of the collection, which has probably a design which is more consensual, but which is appealing to different kind of people.
But the Militare is certainly the statement.
I will say, if you start to collect Anonimo, Militare is a must.
Now, some of our viewers, they might not be too familiar with Anonimo. What kind of price range are you working in?
Price range, I will speak in Swiss francs, if you don't mind. The heart of the collection is between 2,000 and 3,000 Swiss francs retail. And the Militare is a little bit more expensive, especially the chronograph, because it's a special movement on it, and it will go over 4,500.
Now, part of what you have to deal with is the planning of the distribution.
Yep.
And there's a lot changing in the market, and we hear even from big groups a verticalization in the distribution, monobrand boutiques, online shopping. I see that you on your website, you have an online portal as well. How do you see the distribution now in terms of Anonimo in your vision?
Well, Anonimo has to be seen, known, and could be tried by the potential customer. That's the I would say the strategy we have. So we go to be known, to be appreciated through social networks. But after a while, you need to have people who are specialized on watches. It could be online or could be physically possible to just make the final advice. Please wear it, because at the end, you could love the model on picture, But if you'd never seen the watch, something will missing. And I think it's important. So distribution for us, it's an important point. The problem today, as a lot of brands are facing, I mean, brand the size of Anonimo, before the retailers were I would say, a bridge between the brand and the consumer. Mm-hmm. Now it's more a wall between the brand and consumers. So you have really to find people who have interest on what you're doing and understand and ready to spread out. Otherwise, it's no chance. And that's, for me, a big challenge for distribution.
And it means probably also that a retailer, if you talk about retailing, or a distributor, acts as an ambassador for you. He has to understand the brand.
Yep.
You have been working in different fields in the watch industry, different functions, different segments when it comes to pricing and positioning. Where do you think the watch industry has to be very careful for the next, let's say, 5 years in general?
The first challenge for the watch company is to realize that world is changing, consumer is changing, consumer wants something different than 5 years before, 10 years before. The problem is very few brands are really taking care about the consumer. In addition of that, the Swiss people, except one group, the Swatch group, are very successful on the very high-end or high-end. And I think customers look also for different price tag. And I think the 2,000 to 5,000 Swiss francs is a big challenge, because you can bring a real watch with watchmaking, I would say, expertise on it. It's not only a marketing product, but people need value. And value is very important. And the second thing for the industry is to make sure that they don't forget about the value.
That leads me actually to the last question, value. We are here at the WatchBox studios and the lounge in Neuchâtel. WatchBox, we trade with pre-owned luxury timepieces. We talk a lot about value. What is your take on the pre-owned luxury timepiece market? There's a lot of talk about it, particularly here in Switzerland, worldwide as well. What's your take on that?
Well, for me, I think it's about time that people are looking at pre-owned watches. For one reason. We produce, and we sell durable product. And that's, for me, a huge challenge, and it could be a big opportunity on like a business model for people who say, okay, look at the car. Nobody's complaining or nobody's having problem to buy a used car if it's in a proper condition. Why it will be not the case on watches?
Thank you very much, Aldo, for being here, for your insight.
Well, thank you.
And thank you for watching. This is Patrik from WatchBox Neuchâtel. Thank you.